So welcome back to this tutorial. In this tutorial, this is part B of course creation. So in this tutorial, we are going to learn how to add quiz and assignment. Remember, previously we stopped at adding our units. So from here on, we'll continue with adding our quiz and assignment. So to do that, we are simply going to go back to our curriculum and then copy the section 3, which is assignments and quiz. We are going to create a new section called assignments and quizzes. Assignments and quizzes. So for the first one, we are going to simply add a new unit, which is going to be this assignment. The assignment, or let us add a quiz, 5 multi-choice question plus 2 short answers. So that is 2 fill in the blank space. So just copy this out and then click on add quiz. In this add quiz, we'll scroll up. Once we click on it, we'll just go up. There is two options, a simple quiz and a dynamic quiz. A simple quiz is just, the only difference is this one is dynamic, means it can change. You understand? Meaning that in this simple one, I can just simply go from number 1 to number 5. But in dynamic, it's going to be different from this, because in dynamic, so what it just simply means is in the simple one, everything is static. You have question 1 to 10. But in dynamic quiz, it will have a question bank. Let's say it has 20 questions and it can generate 5 for you dynamically. You understand? So it is going to be more random. This is necessary if you want the quiz to be different from what this person got. Let's say this person's number, a student A's question number 5 will be student C's question number 2. Student C's question number 3 will be student A or student B question number 7. So it's going to be interchanged from a pool of questions. So to keep everything simple and the one you are going to mostly use, because this is used in case of continuous assessment, something simple. So click on this, the title, we are going to give it a title, which is a simple quiz, or we'll just copy it from our uh, 5 multi-choice question. Just copy the name quiz and then we'll come back to our page. We'll just paste it here. So once we are done, we are simply going to add what the quiz is about. We can just paste it here. What the quiz is, just a brief description of what the quiz is talking about. You can choose to add a course, but since we're already doing it under the course, there's no need to touch this. And then the duration. These two things are important that you understand. So I'll take time to explain it. This quiz duration is the overall duration of the quiz. How long you want this quiz to last. That is 5 minutes. This is the overall duration. So the students have to finish in a specified amount of time. This is what you normally do in school when you say you have 1 hour for this exam. This is the same with this quiz duration. Then the difference between this quiz duration and question duration is how long will it take the student to answer a particular question. This settings is set to 0. That means it's dynamic and it can take any amount of time. Why is set to 0 is unlimited, so this is the setting we are working with. But if you're a teacher and you want to assess a particular amount of time for your students to answer a particular question, you can add it in this particular place by adding it here. Why is necessary? In some tests like JAM, you have overall duration on how long the exam is going to be, and then for some of them you have question duration. So in the question duration, you have a particular amount of time to answer a particular question. But most times you don't need to touch this since it's set here. You don't need to touch it. All you need to do is to change the minutes here. So I can say I want 10 minutes. Remember, I clicked on this pencil icon by the side. So I'll just click on it again. I can select Under the minutes, I can select 5 seconds, I can select hours, I can select days, weeks, months, and years. So what I want is 10 minutes. I'll change this to 10. Once I'm done, I'll click on that. Once I select 10 minutes, once set. So the next thing is auto evaluate result. In this auto evaluate result, you want the system to be able to mark the result. So for my own particular scenario, I can check yes. But if you want to be the one to mark it, you leave it as unchecked. So let's check it as yes. You don't have to worry about number of questions per page. We can leave it as one. All it simply means is how many questions will the student be able to answer in under one page. Example, for jam is one question per page. They can go from number one to number two to number three. So we'll just leave it as one. Number of extra quiz retakes. This is also important if you want the students to retake the quiz. Maybe they failed one particular part and you want them to retake it, you can simply set it to one. But since it's zero, as default, you can leave it if you don't want them to retake it. Let's say you want them to retake it more than 3 times, so you can say 4. Or if you don't want them to retake it, you can just leave it as blank. Leave it as the default one. The next thing is the post quiz message. This is the message your students see once they are finished with the quiz. So you can simply say, congratulations, you have finished the quiz. So something simple like this. Oh, what did I type? So let's say, congratulations, you have finished the quiz. So something simple. Don't mind my keyboard. You have finished the quiz. So once you finish adding the post quiz message, the next thing to do is to show results after submission. These settings will allow you to show the results to your students after they submit. That is, they will see how many marks they got, which one they got correct, and which one they failed. So you can simply say check it if you want to show the result. For my own situation, I don't want to show them the result. Then the next option is add check answer switch. If you want them to be able to check the answer, let's say you want them, maybe they are guessing and you want them to check the answer, you can also do that. And then if you want to randomize the quiz question, you can do that. Let's say number, as I explained earlier, you can choose to randomize it. This person's own will be the second person's number 3. This person's number 2 will be the next person's number 7. That is randomizing the quiz question. So enable access to quiz to non-logged in users. You can just check that so that any user that is not logged in cannot access it. I also choose to check this. Show submit button on the last question. If you want them to show it that, you can click on that. You can also show print button. All these options you can just, there's no need to worry about them. You can skip that, or you can just check it. This is for teachers who want these options. You understand? Because different teachers have different learning styles. So you can choose the option that is accommodating to you. Then if you want the quiz to start it at a particular date, maybe it's a midterm test, you can select the particular day. Let's say I want this quiz to start on 16th. They are going to be able to access it on 16th. I can also do that again here in 16th to end the 16th. So once you are done, we have come to the main part, which is the questions. This is the very, very important part that I told you that I would have discussed earlier, but we are going to discuss it now. So the first part we are going to see is under questions, we have total marks. Total marks is 0 for now, since we have not created any question and we have not assigned any mark to it. So the first thing we are going to do is to create question. So once I click on this create question, by clicking on this, I will see different options from here. The first one is true or false. The second one is multiple choice. The third one is multiple correct. Fourth one is sort your answers, match answers, fill in the blank space, drop down select, and then small text and large text. So these are different question sets that you can set. From the name, you know the particular one you want. If it's a true or false question you want, you can click on that. If it's a multiple choice, you can click on that. If it's a multiple correct, you can click on that. And then if you want to sort answers, but most times what you need is this multiple choice, fill in the blank space, and true or false. That is the ones most people use. But if you have any other one you want to use, you can use other options. But for this tutorial, to keep it short, we are going to use fill in the blank space, true or false, and multiple choice. So the first thing we are going to choose is the true or false. Once we click on that, we are going to be shown this question title. Under the question title, we'll add the name of the question we want to set, which I have already prepared in this place. So I'll go to quiz. Although this is multiple choice, but we can just simply select uh, okay, short answer question. This is the fill in the blank space one. So we can just say uh, law of inertia. So let's copy this and create a question. The question is going to be law of inertia is, uh, let's say, Newton's first law. So we can simply copy this. Law of inertia is Newton's first law. Law of inertia is Newton's first law. Then we can choose 1 as true. If it's 0, it's false. If it's 1, it is true. So we will say yes. Yes is for 1. That is true. If you want to add a hint for your students, you can also add hints to them. Then you can explain the correct answer and say this is true. This is true. If you want to explain the correct answer to your students, if you want to add hint, you can also add hint by T. T meaning true. That is the hint I want to add. Also, the question statement, you can add extra details to this. I will simply just copy this and add it to the question statement. It's not necessary you add this, but I just added it. Once you are done, you can click on this create question. Once you click on create question, we have created our first question, which is law of inertia is Newton's first law. Then the second option we are going to go with is, want to create another question, we'll just select this multiple choice, click on that. We are still going to see the same screen here. The explain the correct answer, the hint, the correct choice. So first thing, the difference we are seeing from this true or false and this multiple choice is this add options. You know the other one, it says 1 for true and 0 for false. If we want to make the answer to be 1, in the other one we'll add 1. If it's false, we will add 0. So for this one, we are simply going to go to the question bank that we prepared from number 2. If force increases and mass remains the same, what happens to acceleration? We'll just copy this out and then we are going to add it in the question title. As you can see, this is the question. Just remove that. If force increases and mass decreases, what happens? That is our question. Don't worry about this question tag. You can just skip it. What you are going to do is to add option. Option 1, we'll just go to the first option we got, which is A, decreases. We'll just add it, remove this, and then paste it, decreases. And then we can add another option, which is option 2. We'll just go to our question bank and copy this, increases. As you can see by the check mark, this is the correct answer, but we will not show that to the students. The next one is remains the same. So we'll just copy that and then add another option which will be remains the same, and then we can also add another option becomes 0. So we can add an extra option becomes 0. You can also add multiple option in case you have 5. But for the correct answer, which is going to be 2. Why is 2 the correct answer? Because the answer is increases and is under number 2. So we'll select 2 here. That is the correct answer. You can also add description of your question. So I'll just copy this, come to this place, click on T, which is for our text, and then I'll paste it here. This is not necessary. I just wanted to add it. If you want to add hints, you can add hints. If you want to explain the correct answer, you can also explain it by clicking on T, and you can explain why increases is the correct answer if you want to do that. Once you are done, you can click on create question. You don't have to add a hint, you don't have to explain the correct answer. All you just need to do is add the title, add the options, then select the correct answer. Once you are done, you click on create question. Once we click on create question, as you can see, we have created our second question. Moving over to the next one, we have multiple correct. We'll simply just add multiple correct. Then the next question is going to be the unit of power. So we'll just copy that. We'll simply copy that and paste it in the question title. We have to be fast so this tutorial will not be boring. So the unit of power is dash. You can simply add this here, the same thing we did before. So we can add options. Let's add 4 options. We'll copy this. The first one is Joule. Joule. So we'll just paste it here, which is the incorrect answer. Then this is the correct answer, watt. So we'll enter watt here, and we'll also enter watt here. So there is multiple correct answer. The student have to select the 2 options that are correct. Newton is another option. So we can also add Newton here. The correct answer is 1, which is sorry, is 2, which is watt. Then we add a comma. Remember in the other one we just added the number which is correct, which is in before it was 2. Now we'll add comma since there are multiple correct answers. 2 comma 4, which is watt comma watt. That is 2 comma 4, which is the correct answer. You can add hints, you can explain the correct answer, but all those ones are not necessary. So once you are done, you click on create question. Once you click on create question, you are done with this. Then the last one we are going to do, I promise you this is the last one, is the fill in the blank space. So we'll click on that, and then we scroll all the way down to our question bank, and we will say define inertia and give example. This is an open-ended question, so we'll just copy that and then add it as title, add it as the element. So you can simply add that, define inertia and give an example. So fill in the blank space. So just remove that. Fill in the blank space. This is the statement. Fill in the blank. Under the question statement, you just paste it as define inertia. You don't have to leave it as it is. So you just simply add this question statement, remove everything there, and then add your question, which is define inertia and give example. So what is the correct answer? You paste it. So let us quickly Google that. Define inertia define inertia. Uh, okay, so this is under physics a property, a state of matter that blah blah blah. So we'll just copy that and then we'll paste it here. That is our correct answer. And also, since you know this is an open-ended question and the system is marking it, you have to add variation, multiple variations of that answer. So I recommend you do that. If you are going to add fill in the blank space, I recommend you make sure that you are the one marking it, not the system. But if you want the system to mark it, there is a way around by adding this particular icon, which is this. So this icon, you find it in your phone, this particular icon here. You can just copy that and then you scroll all the way to the end, all the way to the end, and then you add it. As you can see, I've added the that icon, sorry, that symbol or character. Once I add it, I can then add any other explanation. So we can just copy another one. Okay. A property, copy that, and we come back here and then we paste it. Boom, we have pasted it. So once you are done with setting up everything, you can simply go ahead and click on create question. Once you click on create question, boom, you can now see all questions and they are here. You can add marks to each of them. So you can add marks individually to each of them. So add marks now. So the first one, we're going to simply add a mark which is 5 marks. Add another 5 marks here, another 5 and another 5. So as you can see here is now 20 marks. So once we are done, we click on add quiz. But since I've already added it, we click on save quiz. So we save it. Then the next thing we are going to do is to come back to add an assignment. We click on simple, and then what is the assignment name? We'll just simply add the assignment, which is let's go back to our curriculum. This is our assignment: solve numerical problems on motions and electricity. We simply copy it and paste it here. Then the next thing we are going to do is to assign marks to our assignment. Let's say we assign 10 marks to the assignment. And then the duration, how long will it take? We click on this. Let's say we want to give it for a weekend. So it's going to be 3 days, 3 days from Friday to Sunday. You have to do that. So we don't need to include it in the course since it's in the course already. Include in evaluation. We don't need to do that since we don't want it to be under the evaluation, whether they have finished the course or not. Then assignment statement, we click on this T to add our assignment statement, which we'll get from here in our lesson notes, and we'll scroll all the way up. Sorry, this is the assignment problem solving. We'll just simply copy this. This is our assignment, so just copy that, and then in our statement we just paste it here. Assignment problem solving: a 5 kg box is pushed with a force of 20 N. Find its acceleration using Newton's second law. A student lifts 10 kg object to calculate the work done. So once we are done, we are going to select the start date. Since we want it to be 3 days, we can say today, which is Saturday. Click on that. This particular time, 12 p.m. So we just select that, and then we'll give it 3 days, which is they are going to submit it on Tuesday. So we'll select this particular time. This is the time they have to submit it, or it will not be available anymore. And then we'll simply click on add assignment. Boom. As you can see, once we add the assignment, we are done. We have we have our curriculum completely set up. We have two questions in our two lessons in our first section, which is mechanics and motion. One is a video, one is an audio, and then also two, which is multimedia and text. So once we are done, we'll click on move to accessibility. This is the final stage in uploading our course. So from this accessibility, this is the place we are going to publish our code. So is it a free course? We are simply going to say yes if it's going to be a free course. But if you want to put a price on it, you can click on add price by unchecking this. Unchecking it means it's not a free course. You can simply add the price. Once you click on this pencil icon, since there's no price, you click on that, click on create product, and then you add the price. The price can be 1,500 naira. Well, I recommend you leave it as a free course since the school has not yet made accommodations for the account number. So I recommend you leave it as a free course. But if you want to add it as a paid course, you can select the price, then you can create product. Click on this create product. So once you are done, as you can see, it's 1,500 naira. But let's make this a free course and then remove this. So you don't have to worry about this set cost purchase code. Don't worry about that. All you need to do is to check whether it's a free course or it's a paid course. Once you're done, you click on boom, publish. Once you click on publish, your course will be available on the platform. As you can see, we have successfully published this course. It's now available on the platform. From here, you can see your dashboard on the particular course, the course details screen. So in the next video, we are going to do a quick overview on how to edit the course and other setup in it. So stay tuned for that. I know this is a long chapter, but it's very, very necessary for us to create a brand new course. Thank you for watching.